Oh,
We're on, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
we're on.
I just hit it.
all
I didn't tell him I hit record.
That's fine.
Episode 8, guys.
Episode
8
8
of the Patriot Roundtable.
I just want to say, if you are listening to the audio portion of this podcast, you can watch the video portion on Rumble. Patriot Roundtable. Look us up on Rumble.
Come on, we're there. I mean, we're here to show. We're here to
Sorry,
speak our
audience,
speech.
didn't make them make all that noise.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're
Hello,
Patriots.
everybody.
Hey.
Nice to see ya.
Yes.
And people that are watching the podcast on Rumble can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and some other ones I can't remember off the top of my head.
But it's okay.
Apple
Hey,
Podcasts,
we're
Spotify,
growing.
Stitcher. Yeah, these are the big.
Buzzsprout. Yeah.
Aye, boss.
All right. Well, we've been out for a week.
Because Jeff had the China virus.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah, the
Let's be
China
honest here. Let's be
virus.
honest. I thought about it and I planned how this happened. Hypothetically, my theory is I was hanging around Patriots who had caught the China virus, as they say. They didn't get tested, but they say, one of them got sick after the other. I was hanging around them. And then a week before you got sick, there was a day where I had a fever. That's crazy because that haven't happened since I was a kid. So then I think, I had caught something I hadn't caught before. I passed it on to you and whatever.
Maybe,
I don't
yeah.
know. And Jeff and Kirk was sick too, so maybe
But I didn't have the COVID. I just had a cold.
Okay, quick notice though. The COVID test, the swab thing, they sprayed the tip of it with something called ethylene oxide. If you go in the cancer research, you look up ethylene oxide is the #1 leading agent for brain hemorrhages and tumors.
my gosh.
It causes brain cancer. I would say don't touch anything that has to do with COVID. Stop wearing your
Yes.
mask. Some gentlemen
wear your
heated
mask.
up
Take
the
it
mask.
off.
Yeah.
They heated up
Please.
one of these surgical masks that are made in China, and little silver worms came from the middle of the mask. That was the craziest thing. I
Weird.
don't know what are they putting in these masks
know.
that they're having us inhale.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
So I went down. I got tested. My wife tested positive. She was sick. She took it a lot worse than I did. She was pretty much laying in bed for 5 days.
How is she doing now?
She's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I mean, it's-
it still lingers with her. So after her 10 days, she
Yeah.
had to go back to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
The works, her work said that you had to be back in 10 days, and she
Yeah.
went back to work with all of her symptoms and everything.
Oh
to
my
pass it
goodness,
around to
pass it on
coworkers.
to someone
I mean,
else.
it's.
I don't punch a clock, so I don't have to
I mean,
worry about that.
like, what are you gonna do?
I just stayed away because I didn't want to be responsible if somebody did get sick or
Good
whatever.
for you.
But for me, it wasn't nothing. I had low energy for about 3 days, so
Oh,
I just
that's
laid
low.
around. I watched TV,
Right.
and for about 4 nights in a row. It wasn't during the daytime, but at night my nose was stuffy, so it made it hard to sleep. That was it.
But I mean, like, check it
That
out.
was it
like,
for me,
like,
dude.
Like, we hang around some of the bravest, like, freest people, freedom-loving people. Like, we have old people that were stacked in a bus going down to Mar-a-Lago,
Yes.
no mask, we're just living our life. The more you stress yourself, the more you ruin your immunity system.
Really?
You live your life, you interact with people that you like, people with your friends. That
Yeah.
actually gives you a boost, like your mental health
Absolutely.
and your
You're
physical.
happy.
It makes you
Yeah.
healthier. It
Happy
really
and
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
Think about all the people that
freedom.
wearing the masks and they're washing their hands all the time and
That's so
they're avoiding
stressful.
people. No, they might be able to go 4 years, maybe, if they can isolate themselves from people. You're eventually going to catch something.
Oh, you
And if
Yeah.
your body isn't used to it, and your immune system isn't used to it, that's what'll get
You're
you.
gonna kill you.
Absolutely.
That'll
Yeah.
kill you.
But
The
again-
regular
Absolutely.
flu would get you.
That's exactly what's intended. It's a depopulation agenda.
And
The
Bill
same
Gates
people,
is in charge of it.
the same people that are advising us on all these, safety guidelines, they're eugenicists. They believe there's too many people in the world and they want to cut it by 80%. The same people that were taking advice on how to stay healthy from.
They can't even get
Don't do
80% of the population to take this vaccine.
And
Oh,
the
no.
s-
Oh, no.
And now these are the same people that put aborted fetus cells in this vaccine.
That's disgusting. Any
What's
What's
Christian,
the purpose for doing that, I'm wondering?
I don't know.
it's something. It's some genetic engineering. This, like, whether it's Moderna, Pfizer,
It's some kind of neutral cell that'll bond with your cells.
Yeah,
and
it's
you won't get rejected. for some
mRNA
reason.
technology. I don't
Yeah.
know. This shouldn't even be called a vaccine. A vaccine should be, a dead strand of the cell or a weakened strand that then you get it, you fight it off, you create memory cells.
This
so then you
new
get-
vaccine does something to your DNA
Johnson
or
and
RNA.
Johnson?
Johnson and Johnson, they put it on pause.
Oh no, you're talking
No,
about
the Johnson and
COVID in
Johnson was a
general.
regular vaccination. The rest of them
Well, some new
modifies your
technology.
DNA somehow.
It's mRNA technology. So it
Yeah.
It has it gives you a certain strand for your DNA to copy.
I think
And
people
that's
need more
dangerous.
information on this.
And
I'm
that's
not getting
dangerous because you're gonna pass it on to your kids. That new strand that you get from the
Mm-hmm.
vaccine, you're gonna pass it on to your kids and their kids and their. So it is.
And
Go
now
ahead.
Johnson and Johnson, they put it on pause because there have been 6 cases to where it causes blood clots in your brain.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, yes.
Are you
Crazy
serious?
stuff.
And
yeah.
you know there's
President Trump was speaking out against it as well.
and you know there's more than 6.
Wow.
But the news doesn't want to talk about it, so they only talk about just 6.
Jeff, did you
so
go
if
get
somebody-
tested?
I went and got tested, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
it came
dude.
in.
You gotta be
So
careful.
when I went to get tested, I walked into a Centricare and said I wanted to get tested.
God.
And they tried everything to talk me out of it.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, they tried everything. They said it's $150. I said, I have insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it. And there was only 2 people in that whole building.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe,
2 people waiting to
maybe-
get in.
Did you get the nasal
That's
test or did
amazing.
you have to bend over?
Bend over.
No, that's
The
only in
anal
China.
test. Oh.
Nah,
That's the
they
thing.
didn't.
Are you
So
kidding
they
me?
stuck a Q-tip in my nose,
Yeah.
and they didn't stick it up way up my nose or nothing. They just rubbed it around my nostril.
As more
And they said you
Yeah.
had it?
Yeah.
As more healthcare workers are starting to learn about the danger of these tests, they're trying to talk people out of it. But there are certain things they can't
No.
say. There's certain things they can't tell you. They can't, speak against ethylene
And some of
oxide
them probably
because they use it in other
conservatives.
medications. Yeah, that know what's going on.
That's what
they
I'm
know,
thinking.
They know that they're contributing to this depopulation
What's
agenda,
that?
but they can't lose their jobs. Yeah.
But seriously, it's some scary stuff. It is. And it's also scary how Joe Biden is coming after our guns. Like, Joe Biden is now pulling
The
the executive order for the guns this week. What, Thursday?
They don't want anybody to shoot them for making us take this vaccine.
Yeah. Of course.
So
Yeah.
now, I'm sorry, I don't want to jump. I just remembered something. So does that mean the vaccine passport will work with this with the vaccines now? Because now Johnson and Johnson's on pause, but I guess Pfizer and Moderna is okay. So are they going to go through with the vaccine passports or what?
Oh.
Not in Florida, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
well,
depends on where you
Ron
live.
DeSantis.
Oh, dude, they're gonna do it in New York. They're gonna do it in all these lefty states.
All the
Yeah,
communist
they're-
states.
More
all the red states won't do
Not
it.
here.
And then all lefties are going to leave those blue states and then come here and then still vote blue.
Biden's so whacked out that we have to stand up for ourselves.
We do.
So this is what it's going to turn into. You're going to have a president trying to push stuff on the people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be an ongoing political thing.
For the
where
next 3
if a
years.
Democrat is in charge, the Republican states are going to go, fuck you, we ain't doing it.
Yeah.
And we aren't going to abide by any federal laws that you try to pass. And then when Republicans in there, the blue states will do the same thing to us. It'll be like living in 2 bizarro countries.
Of course.
Like, depending on what state you live in, it'll be, we're not listening.
If we can even keep conservatives or get any conservatives in office with this election system that we have.
With Dominion.
Biden
they've
said
done
there won't be any
nothing
more
about.
Republicans left.
Yeah.
Of course.
He keeps slipping up and saying things that,
yeah.
maybe not yet,
The,
you shouldn't say.
the scariest thing for me that he said that I heard recently was, no amendment is absolute. Really?
Really? That's
So-
Thou shalt
that-
not infringe. That's not absolute enough for him.
Man.
That's not absolute. So what's stopping? They're already going after the First Amendment. They've been silencing us for years. They
We've
silenced
lost
the
it.
leader of the free world,
Yeah, but
President Trump.
the Americans are not going to stand by and allow that to happen. The American people will take arms.
Well,
I believe
definitely
that.
They
with the
better.
Second
If it
Amendment,
comes
for sure.
comes to our guns, they're not going to sit back and allow that.
They better.
Yeah.
They better.
They
I don't have a lot
start a war.
of faith. Not after our election being stolen. Nobody
And
did
people
nothing.
doing
Our
nothing
freedom of
about it.
speech is practically gone. No
You
one
know
did
what's gonna
anything.
happen? They're gonna come after somebody's guns. Somebody's gonna take arms. The media's gonna label them a terrorist, and then
White
nobody's gonna do it
supremacists.
anymore.
They're gonna try to scare the shit out of everybody, like labeling us insurrectionists.
Like January
Yeah.
the 6th, and then nobody did anything.
You
anymore.
stole the election. Why do you think they stormed the Capitol?
Yeah.
But you guys don't understand. Most people don't even realize the election was stolen.
No.
People
Liberals
like
don't.
ourselves.
No.
Because when I was not involved, you really don't pay attention. A lot of people, even out when we're doing our flag wave, they're
Right.
stopping us. Why are you guys still out here?
Liberals.
Because
But
they
this
don't
is really
understand.
obvious. This one is really
Conservatives
obvious.
too.
No. A lot of people realize the election has been stolen. Even Democrats realize that
Yes.
this is weird. Like no other election has ever been ran that way.
Not
before.
everybody pays attention to
Not
politics
everybody
like we do.
pay attention to politics. You guys don't realize
But a
it.
vast majority of voters know that the election is
Oh yeah.
stolen.
I mean, you watched it happen.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
watched all these states
never
stop
has
the
an
election
election been
At
midstream.
3 a.m.
But
Yeah.
a lot of people already think the elections are being stolen anyway. anyway, so they're not thinking a big deal of it.
They
They think that this is another stolen election, but this was the worst case
Brazen.
ever.
Right.
This was
right
brazen.
in front of our face.
Yes, this was horrendous.
Yeah.
It's gonna make people not want to go vote
And
against
that's the
the
thing,
Republicans.
absolutely.
like Jeff is saying, they stole that election. We did something about it. The media scared us, so everybody backed off. So I wonder if that's gonna be the case when they come after our guns.
Yeah.
We're like all, big and bad now. Yeah, we're gonna defend.
Yeah.
We're gonna take arms. And then the media labels us as right-wing terrorists. Just give up your guns unless you're an insurrectionist. And then everybody's gonna back down, which is what I'm hoping.
I think most
we need
people
to
are
stop
cowards.
caring about what
Well,
CNN
if-
says. Like,
Well,
we called them the communist news
CNN?
network. Yeah.
You want to care about what
No,
they
no.
say?
I say
Stop-
we stop
stop
caring.
caring
Stop
what's
caring
said.
about
Oh,
what
I was
they
gonna
say.
say because
Yeah.
We labeled them the
Never.
Communist News Network, yet they call us insurrectionists, and all of a sudden we start apologizing.
And it's crazy. As crooked as the news is, and as biased as the news is, and as manipulative as the news is,
Yeah, a bunch of liars.
Democrats still watch it.
Yeah.
They still believe it.
I just don't understand. Is there like a lost link in there? Or
Tiny
is it-
brains, dude.
I don't know how someone can be so naive. Like they literally, you don't know how many people I deal with that wear double masks. They wear double masks. They wear gloves, and it's
Well,
like,
they're living in fear.
Yeah.
When you allow fear to grip you, the people they allow themselves to be controlled,
literally.
and that's the whole point of it.
And that's
they
what
want to
makes-
make you afraid.
And that's what makes the virus look deadlier than it is, because when you've been living in fear, you've been raising
Yes.
your stress for a whole year, and then you catch some stupid virus, it's gonna be severe. It's gonna mess your health up. Now, look at us. We're people who didn't, live in fear. We lived our life normally. We had
Absolutely.
fun. We still interacted with our friends and family. No problem. We had the COVID go around in our group, and look at us.
Yeah.
We're perfect. We're even better than before the COVID.
Yeah, matter of
facts.
fact,
Still
my
alive.
life got more exciting.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yes.
same.
More exciting. I mean, this is. I'm enjoying this. We got a lot of things going on, and people are so afraid they're crumbling in their
come
boots.
out.
We're
to
making
step
some good
outside their
connections.
door.
So-
Are
Me
you
and
kidding
Regina are making some good connections with a lot of higher ups out there. Exciting things to come, folks.
That's right.
You're gonna see us.
Absolutely.
You're gonna see us big, folks.
I know that's right.
Yes. But yeah, it's also another thing too is that Joe Biden. I'm just waiting for the 100 days when they decide to use that 25th Amendment. I'm waiting for that. If it's past 100 days and Joe Biden's still in, I don't know.
I'll be very surprised.
Biden
be
just
very
came out and he
surprised, too.
told
Yeah.
all the agencies that are underneath him to not call it the Biden administration anymore.
Biden-Harris.
It's got to be Biden-Harris.
Yeah.
No president in history's ever
Ever
done that.
done
before.
that.
No, it's never
Ever.
Trump. Never been Trump-Pence administration.
Never.
It was always the
No.
Trump
I
administration.
I heard some people call it the
And
Trump
the Bush
Pence, but now if they
administration.
want it to be official, like the agencies have to, on any official
have to do it
document,
every
make
time.
it a Biden-Harris thing. Yeah, then that's
Watch the news. They're gonna
But
start calling.
Harris
They're
has
gonna
been
start saying.
quiet. I don't even notice Harris. The only thing I notice Harris do is just stand behind,
Behind Joe.
She's getting ready to be
Spread
president.
eagle.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Camel toe Harris.
No, but yeah, she's usually just quiet. And then another thing too, talking about amendments. This is what the Democrats want to do. The Democrats believe that the Constitution is outdated. The founding fathers, this was 200, 300 years ago. And
They call it racist.
well, yeah, but do you know what
nothing
other
racist
do
about
you
our
kn-
Constitution.
Do you know what other document that is many years old that they're trying to get rid of too? The Bible.
Of
Oh,
course.
of course.
They've been-
If
yeah,
the
yeah.
Constitution is
Yeah.
outdated
Of
because
course.
it's 300 years old, the document that established the greatest and freest country
Country in the world.
history of civilization
Right.
is outdated because it's 300 years old. Think about what they're going to do to the Bible.
It's our
because
founding principles.
It's
What the
thousands
con-
of
what
years
the
old.
country was
Well, the
founded on.
Constitution is based on scriptures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it
Yeah,
comes
of
from.
course.
But they've been trying to get rid of the Bible slowly, very slowly.
You
for
can never
years.
get rid of the Bible.
Not
It's
at all,
impossible.
no.
That's like saying getting rid of God. You can't do it.
You
They
know
want to
what?
get rid of God.
If they
Yeah,
do get rid of
you
the
can't.
Bible, if
Yeah.
they do get rid of the Bible, only outlaws are gonna have the Bible, and we're all planning on being outlaws because
No,
we ain't
that's
giving
right.
up our religion.
I'm not. That's one thing I will fight about is the word of God. You better believe it. I'll take up arms.
Definitely.
It's no problem for me. None whatsoever.
Same.
Yep.
What's that saying? When tyranny becomes normal, then
When
rebellion-
tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow, I
like
like
that.
Who
Yeah.
said that?
Thomas Jefferson. That was in the Declaration of Independence. Also, there's another saying, and I think Benjamin Franklin, what's his name? Not Benjamin Franklin. Who am I thinking of? Alexander Hamilton. He said, resistance towards tyrants is loyalty towards God or something like that. So I'm thinking, so like, you know, we're being called insurrectionists everywhere, but no, we're only insurrectionists to the tyrants. You know,
Yes,
God is on our side.
But the Democrats
Right.
always had that spirit of slavery. They always want to
Oppression.
they always want to take your rights. They always want to keep you in
chains.
in chains.
Yes.
So they still have that same spirit. They're the ones that were supporting slavery. They supported all these things.
Yeah,
They founded the KKK.
Yes,
Democrats,
the
of course.
KKK. So they're trying to use another strategy.
They want to call
take your
Republicans
freedom.
racist, but
They
they were
They're
the
the ones
slave
that are
owners.
racist.
Did you hear-
They were the
Yes.
KKK
Did
members.
you hear-
Crow
Yes.
Joe.
Did you hear what the human egg of CNN, Ryan Stelzer, said about Tucker
guy's a
Carlson?
fat pig.
He said,
Yes.
I'm not sure why Tucker Carlson spells his name with 1 K.
Boo!
Idiot.
That's lame.
That's the
Wow,
that's the
it's
kind of coverage
pathetic,
that we get from
pathetic.
CNN. Ryan Steltzer's biggest concern is that Fox News anchors are not taking selfies of and getting the vaccine and taking
Yeah.
selfies.
Yeah.
Are you serious, my boy?
That was an actual headline.
Our
too.
southern border is in
Unbelievable.
crisis. Our gas prices have shot through the roof, and the Biden administration is opening a pipeline in the Taliban, so they get a Taliban. The Taliban gets the pipeline, but Americans don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the lefties won't be happy until there's only lefty news.
Yeah.
Only lefty politicians.
And lefties don't care about gas prices going up because they all drive electric cars anyway.
I mean, not
Not all
that.
of
I mean,
them,
The
but-
electric cars are kind of expensive. I would never get an electric car because I don't like being tracked.
Me neither.
You know,
yeah.
I wanna be able to go out into
Well,
the woods.
How do you charge up a electric car?
They have those
You have
chargers.
to use a coal-powered
Yeah.
fired power plant.
So we're not really going that
or natural
green.
gas. It's
Yeah.
not green at all.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be better to fill up put gas in your car, okay?
That burn up coal.
Than to burn up coal and charge your car.
And that's the
It's
thing.
so dumb.
We shouldn't even be trying to worry about lessening the amount of coal that we're burning. China are
Yeah.
trying to get as much coal into their hands as possible. We're the only ones that are concerned about going green, and we're contributing the most money in the Paris Climate Accord. We have lessened our carbon emission by 10% since the year 2000.
China's growing
and
so
India,
fast.
they've grown it by 10%.
Well, China's building like 100 or more power plants every
Coal
year.
power
China
plants,
is the
yeah.
superpower. China
They
is
are.
beating us. They are the number one.
They own us.
superpower.
They own us.
They are.
they own our corporations, our media, our education. That's how you destroy a nation.
Think about it. When Trump was president, we were the number one superpower.
We were.
And Biden, 2 or 3 months into his presidency, China's already the number one superpower.
Yeah, because he sold out
Crazy,
to them.
dude.
Not sold out.
He's
but-
been
yeah,
owned
well,
by
They
yeah,
own
well,
him.
yeah,
He's
but
been
They
owned
own
by
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they take him as a joke, as with every other country. No country takes Joe Biden serious.
Our media
of
covers for
course.
China.
Nobody does.
Our school system covers for China. All these big corporations cover for China.
Yep,
Oh, definitely.
they cover for
They
China.
do.
Crazy.
And it's crazy how they embrace liberals, well, not all liberals, but they embrace this communist culture into, like, they wear Che Guevara shirts, and Che Guevara was against gays.
Che Guevara. Che
Guevara,
Guevara.
whatever.
Yep, there you go.
He was against gays. Karl Marx was against gays, but you're repping this man. I don't understand.
And they call us a cult.
Yeah.
They're the
Fidel
communist cult.
Castro didn't care about you, but you're sitting here repping him.
Fidel Castro said no slur for the gay person would ever be a communist revolutionary.
Of course, but you're sitting there repping this man, and the government is not doing anything about Antifa either. They're back. Black Lives Matter is back. I didn't think they'd come back out until election time 2024. But
The other week,
I guess
okay,
I'm wrong.
some recent news. The other week, a group of Black Lives Matter protesters in Portland, so Antifa or whatever, a radical leftist dumpster fire, they set an ICE building on fire with agents
Yes.
locked in there. They were trapped in there. And the media, crickets.
How come the FBI isn't looking for those idiots?
I know, right? They're still
Not
looking,
at all.
They're still looking for the January
They're
the
still
6th.
looking for people
They're
who went into
looking-
the Capitol
they're
and took
looking-
Yeah,
took
that's so
selfies.
pictures.
ridiculous.
But the people that burned down an ice building with agents still inside, trapped
sick.
inside. Yeah, no problem.
Our government's so corrupt, dude.
It is.
Even when Trump was in there, it wasn't Trump, but it was the people, the moles that Obama implanted everywhere.
Yeah.
That too.
He spent a lot of time doing that, dude.
Yeah.
It was the house. It was the house.
President
He
Trump,
weaponized
he was
the
surrounded
FBI.
around a bunch of crooks.
Our government is supposed to be for the
Unfortunately.
people, but they're not.
They're not.
not.
They're for themselves.
It's for the common
They're for-
interest.
they're
their
for
own
the power.
pockets.
They're for Soros.
Think about the
Therefore,
media that we
CCP.
have. The media lies to us on purpose so that they can whip us into a frenzy, so that they can sell more commercials, so that they can make money.
They can
They're
create
selling us
division.
down the river
And
for
create
money.
division.
Yeah.
And half the country just takes the bait and
They
goes
sure
with
do.
it. It's
They do.
so easy.
Especially with the mask. I mean, Fauci hasn't been right on a single thing about the mask, but yet
The lefties still worship
They
him.
still worship him. It's ridiculous that
Yeah.
he is the highest paid of government official, and he's been wrong. He gets paid more than Joe Biden,
Yeah.
and Joe Biden keeps that money. You know, President Trump didn't keep his salary.
donated
I bet you
He
Trump's
donated
thinking,
it.
shit, I should have fired that dude.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Imagine
he's
what
right
the
at some of
media
the
should have
people
done.
that he
And that's
helped.
the thing.
COVID, man. I'm telling you, it was the media had Trump by the balls, man.
Yeah.
They did.
He did everything right. He probably
he did.
He probably had the best
Absolutely.
response
He had
response to the virus.
Well, he had to shut down the greatest economy the United States has ever seen.
Yes.
Because of this COVID thing.
Yeah.
And he was called a xenophobe for shutting down travel to China.
Well, he
Unreal.
actually he didn't shut anything down. He gave every governor the power
The
to
power
govern their
to
state to
govern
do what
their
they
state,
want.
yeah.
So then look at how
That's how
every
it's supposed to
governor
be.
shined. Then every single governor shined for who they are. Ron DeSantis made Florida the greatest state that it is now, and the lefties,
Amen.
Democrat politicians made their state
Worse.
into Iraq,
Shithole.
Yes.
pretty much.
Man,
Yes.
it's terrible.
Pretty much, yeah.
That was
I
a pretty
think
There's
smart
shut
still
down
kids
was
that
a
aren't going to
mistake.
school right now.
Yeah, especially in
It's unbelievable.
Illinois with Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot. Oh my God, it's
So did anybody see she went
was
and threw?
booed.
She was booed. She
Yeah.
threw out the first pitch at some baseball game.
Also,
And there wasn't even that many people
Yeah.
there.
no, but it
No,
was
it was
loud. though.
hilarious,
That's what I
yeah.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
she
still
was
loud.
booed.
Everyone that represented
There
Chicago.
wasn't that many people there.
Well, I'm saying every if you look at the video, there's like 5 or 6
Yeah,
head people from Chicago. They're all black.
yeah,
Every one of them.
Of course.
yeah.
That's
And you
why-
wonder
So, but
how
they want
these
to blame
people-
all their problems on white people.
Right, and you
Yeah.
wonder how these people keep getting reelected if they get booed out of stadiums in their own hometown.
Because of rigged elections.
Yeah.
Go to any
Rigged
major,
elections.
any big lefty city,
Okay.
and it's pretty much run by black people
Democrats,
for the most
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Democrat black people, yeah.
Speaking of rigged
he's
elections,
right.
But they
Absolutely.
want to blame their problems on Republicans
They
and,
do.
and the
They
white
do.
people
Put
and all that
pity
stuff.
on the
It's
white man.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
okay, speaking of rigged election, you know how our media is trying to tell us that election fraud doesn't exist? It's this fantastical, magical idea. In Bolivia, citizens intercepted big trucks all carrying fake ballots that had their president marked down. The current president of
they did
Bolivia,
that here, too.
they had it
They
marked
did that
down
here,
for it.
too.
They
The
did that here,
citizens
too.
intercepted ballots. I'm here, like
Yes.
and, yeah, they did. The UPS,
They did that
the
here.
UPS
Yeah.
trucks, yeah.
Well, not just that too, but
But
they
I'm
were
talking-
literally they had fake ballots filled. No, they had trucks going
Yeah,
overnight.
I'm talking
filled
about
with Joe Biden
this
ballots.
just happened in Bolivia. The citizens just intercepted that, and all the ballots that were these trucks had loaded up had their current president marked for re-election. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's happening. It's happening all over.
So
the
what did
world.
they do to it? What did they do?
They just they ripped it up. They threw in
Exposed
all
it?
the ballots. Yeah.
We exposed it too,
They
but our
filmed it.
courts wouldn't look at none of the evidence.
No,
Exactly.
They did.
Exact-
They didn't touch it.
No,
In tyranny, it doesn't matter what the people want.
no,
But
that's
they-
because we live in the most corrupt country.
They caught a guy on tape who worked for CNN.
I saw that.
He was bragging about the fact that they got rid of President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That they were working hard. They got rid of him.
Well, they-
and then now they're working on Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz. Yeah, I
Matt
saw
Gaetz.
that.
They admitted one of the CNN higher ups there
Yeah.
got busted. What's that outlet that does the undercover journalism?
Who? PBS,
No,
Who?
I forget the name of it now.
CNN. Is
Not
it
CNN.
MSNBC, ABC?
Vice?
Nah, like anyway.
It doesn't matter.
So they got the guy on video and audio saying that all that stuff about Trump and
Yeah.
we've been scaring the shit out of
60
people.
Minutes?
Yep.
Telling everybody death rates
No.
and stuff, trying to scare the shit out of people because it's making them watch the news,
Yeah.
and we're able to
Of
sell
course.
commercials.
Yeah, it's all a
and-
gimmick.
The death
It's all a
count,
gimmick.
the COVID death count disappeared right when Biden was inaugurated
Yeah.
from CNN. They used to show-
Plus, don't forget you had Time Magazine bragging about how they ousted
fortified
Trump.
the election.
They fortified the election.
That's the thing.
Yes.
They want us to get used to the fact that we have no voice in tyranny, in a society that's an authoritarian dictatorship. It doesn't matter what the people want.
We're
or what they
never
vote
going to have
for.
a voice as long as we
Yeah.
have voting machines plugged into the internet.
They're telling you we select how this country is gonna be run and who's gonna
Yeah.
run it, and you people just be good boys.
You just shut up and deal with it.
Yeah.
Shut up, white supremacists.
Actually, they
don't
just
mess
told
with
us.
democracy.
They didn't just tell conservatives or Republicans. They told everybody, both the left and the right, we fortified the election.
Yeah.
So what about if the left wants to get somebody else reelected?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
The media says there's
Yeah.
no widespread voter fraud. Are you kidding me?
Liar.
Yeah, and then they always mention whenever it comes to those news articles. Well, President Trump today yet denied the Mike Pence again. He claimed voter fraud, yet there was no proof or evidence of voter fraud. They always talk about that, like that quote. Yet there was no proof of evidence of voter fraud. Yet there was no proof.
There was,
why are you so okay? Why are you so determined that there was no proof?
How
Just
come
say
no one got?
about
Has
it.
anyone done any audits
Beat
on
it
these
into
voting
your head.
machines?
They
didn't
beat
do
it
any
into your head.
investigation.
Are we
They
using
didn't-
voting machines next time around too?
we
Yeah,
haven't
of
gotten rid of
course.
it. Florida, they don't use the Dominion, or do they? Florida don't use the Dominion machines. I think Texas is the only state that doesn't use the Dominion.
We used voting machines
We
that
did,
were
yeah.
plugged.
We
They might not have been
Yeah.
Dominion,
Yeah.
but we had voting machines that were plugged in the internet.
Oh yeah,
Dude, my little the county that we're in right now, Seminole County, it's like the smallest county in Florida. We voted red all the way down the line. I mean, for every county commissioner, city commissioner, the tax guy, the clerk of courts guy. I mean, you name it. We voted red. But we voted for Biden.
Yeah.
We voted red for everything,
Isn't
but
that
we voted
crazy?
for Biden.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's
So they-
ridiculous.
that's
How
because
is
when
that
they,
possible?
when they finagled the machines that were plugged into the internet, they weren't worried about all the small time people. They were
Yeah.
just worried about getting Biden in there.
presidency.
That's what they.
I
focused
believe
on.
Orange County voted for Biden. That I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably.
Oh yeah,
I believe
they're
liberal,
they're
yeah.
liberals. Orange County is definitely liberal.
Democrats can't win, so they cheat.
Yeah, that's
And
what
Mike
they do.
Pompeo, he even said that it was no voter fraud, and I knew something was wrong when he said that.
I really believe.
He's a liar.
Mike Pompeo himself?
Yes.
Wow.
No, but I believed in him. He said
That's
that.
really gonna
He said there was he couldn't find no findings of voter fraud.
that's gonna piss
Oh,
off some Q
no.
people.
But
He
I
said
believe.
that in the beginning.
Because
No, but I believe that he said that there's going to be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration. I believed that when
I
he
don't
said
know.
that.
No,
I
they were
really
a
don't
bunch
know
of
what's
crooks.
happening with them at this point. I mean, you talk to a Q person, they think Mike Pompeo is, in on the plan, is working with JFK and Pepe Le Pew backstage.
No, I believe Mike Pompeo.
But the
I
fact
believe
that he
Mike
said
Pompeo-
that, I
I
don't know
believe
what they
he's a
think.
Well, he had to say it. That was early into the.
It was when he was leaving, he said it. When he was leaving, he was saying it was no proof of voter
Or was that
fraud.
when the media scared everybody on the right that anybody that says there's voter fraud is an insurrectionist? I think that was fresh off after the January the 6th incident.
Well,
They're
there's
trying to
still
label
cowards.
us all as
White
white
supremacists,
supremacists, insurrectionists,
insurrectionists.
and they're going to use these red flag laws to come after every damn one of us, dude.
Oh, you know it. You know it. And then
Yep.
what's
They can't
stopping
just take our
them?
guns away. They're going to have to start
Little
Picking
here
us
and
apart.
there.
Oh, and
Yeah.
then there'll be a special phone line if the neighbors don't like you. Just call and then say, "I have a special tip. Jeff so and so. I have suspicion that he owns contraband. That's the word they'll
Contraband.
use. Contraband.
Well, they had a website up for a while that was TrumpVoter.com or something.
Yeah.
Turn in
Trump
Trump voters. We need
Trump
they wanted
voters.
a list.
Well, what happened
AOC
to
wanted
it?
a list.
Trump voters went all over it and they just messed it up. They
Yeah.
started
Right.
reporting Democrats
Yeah.
and
Right.
fake people.
That's right.
Yeah, they-
That's
they-
what we
they-
gotta
go.
do. Use our power.
Like trick
Fight
them,
back.
trick the media, trick
Absolutely.
the Democrats.
They want to send us all to Bill Gates' farm.
Yeah.
Yep. Let them put their own
Send
foot
us
in their
the
mouth.
Re-education camps.
It'll never happen.
No.
As long as we have our guns,
Yeah.
guess what? Mao disarmed his people before genociding 35 million of them.
Stalin
Hitler
too.
did the same thing. Stalin did the same thing.
You can't enslave the people if they are armed.
You can't genocide those who are
No.
armed to the teeth, baby.
Yeah, and the gun sales have went through the roof. They say you can't even find.
I'm trying to do it. It's like
Do what?
Yeah,
because
uh-huh.
people are trying to. Yeah, because I want to get to some recent
Remember,
news.
you lost your guns.
Yeah, I lost my
But
guns.
I
of course.
will admit that Joe Biden's a good
I lost
gun
my guns in a
salesman.
boating accident.
That's right.
We were on the
Yes,
same
yes.
boat. Anyway,
It happened before when they were talking about taking away our guns.
have y'all heard of
gun sales went through the roof?
have y'all heard of
course.
Dante Wright and the incident with
The lady
he's the newest
mistaked her taser. No, the lady pulled out
we
her
were
gun
talking about
instead
this
of her
yesterday.
taser.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we'll get to it.
Yeah, she's pretty dumb for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not tell the difference between your taser? Does a taser feel like a gun? Look like a gun?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same
It's
grip,
pretty.
same
Why would
trigger
they make a taser
Well-
that has the same that feels like a gun?
It happens, man. It happens
know, but
to
I'm
white
saying-
people all
But
the
it's
time.
flight- it's
White
fight or
people,
flight.
What cops mistake their guns with tasers all the time. The only time the media is pushing it because it's a black person. In 2019,
I know, but they shouldn't make a taser in the shape of a gun.
But
I mean,
she
it's-
she shouldn't have to pull. She shouldn't have to be put in the predicament
That's
to pull
where,
it out.
There
Right.
you go.
Dude,
Yeah, he
Oh,
resisted arrest. He tried to.
These
flee.
people need to learn to respect
the law. Come on.
That's where the fault lies. The criminal.
Okay.
It is
I say
not
if
the
you're
police
resisting
officer.
arrest, whatever happens to you, that's,
That's
on
right.
you, man. That's
That's
all
right.
you.
You're a
So-
criminal.
This
They're out there
dude-
trying to protect us.
How come you
Yes.
don't ever hear the media or Democrats telling, okay, young black men, whatever you do, don't resist arrest, even though
don't.
it's happening to white people too.
That's right.
This dude,
It happens
And
more
Spanish.
often to white people.
This
Yeah.
dude, Dante Wright, had just committed an armed robbery against an old lady. He
Yeah.
had a warrant out for his
Yeah.
arrest.
Had a warrant.
He didn't show up to court, and he had a warrant out for his arrest. He had an illegal firearm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a gangbanger
He was
wannabe.
a gangbanger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he steal somebody's rent money? Was it the
Yeah.
lady
He,
you talking
he had a
Him and his
criminal
friend robbed
Yeah,
a woman
robbed a
for
woman.
$800
Yes.
at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what the arrest warrant was,
Yeah.
was
Yes.
issued.
And
on
he
him.
also had like a no-show. He had like, he had a failure to show up, and he had another.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had 2 warrants up for his arrest for 2
Yeah.
separate crimes.
He was
or
a, he
had
was
to
a
show up.
punk.
Yeah, he was a little piece.
But he
of
already-
But the media wants to make it
Make
look
him
like
look
he's
like
a
he's this
loving
young
father.
loving
Please,
father.
please.
But they
I
already.
guarantee you, he was a
By
piece
the way,
of
by
shit.
the way, he
was a criminal.
he was
Just like
actually
George
a
Floyd.
father.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Obama comes out and he started talking about the police, talking about the police need to be more careful. Why don't you tell these criminals to stop resisting the police officers?
Had he not resisted arrest, he would
it
still
would,
be alive
he'd still
today.
be alive today.
He would still be alive committing crimes and gangbanging
Yeah.
and doing all that stuff. So maybe just God does his
No,
magic.
I believe he would have went to jail because
Yeah.
they had a warrant out for his arrest.
Yeah.
They said he would have went to jail for like 20
It
years.
seems like every time you turn
course.
around, the media and the Democrats are throwing police under the
Okay.
bus.
Yeah, and they already gave him.
Who in their right mind would want to be a police officer?
They already started.
Ever.
They already
The lady
started.
Especially now,
resigned.
dude.
The officer that
Well,
made the
here in our
mistake and
state,
shot him resigned.
because
You
the
could hear,
police are
you could
respected
hear
here.
the sympathy in her voice. You could hear the regret as soon as she yelled taser, and then she shot, and it turns out it was her gun.
So Derek
She-
Chauvin technically didn't do anything wrong.
He's
but
innocent.
he's probably going to go to jail because they're going to cater to the anger.
Well, they
mob.
haven't. The defense hasn't spoken yet.
I'll be surprised if
No, they have. I mean, they've been
that
going back and forth.
that
but
judge
the
that's overseeing the case.
Yeah.
He's not he's not a neutral dude.
He's not.
No.
Why? Why? He's black.
Oh
Lives
no, he's
Matter?
giving the prosecution like every chance, every opportunity. He's letting in
Yeah,
all
because
kinds
they
of stuff.
fired some of the people already that was involved. Like
And the drug dealer won't speak.
He won't
course.
sequester anybody.
The drug dealer's attorney said that his client wouldn't speak because it would put him in a position where he could be charged of 3rd-degree murder.
Yeah.
Isn't that obvious that
Yeah.
if the dude doesn't want to speak because he doesn't want to sound like he killed
If
him?
there's any
the
doubt
court
at all,
should-
I mean, it's riddled throughout this whole case.
yeah.
Well, the court should just give him immunity if that's the case. Give the drug dealer immunity.
Yeah. But then, his
They're not going to force
his
you can't, I guess
testimony.
you can't force him
He
to
waived
speak.
his he invoked his 5th, so they can't let him.
Hopefully they
can
go
make
after
his
him and
5th.
charge him next cause
But
I mean, I think you got to hold
That's
you
so
got to hold
ridiculous.
George Floyd accountable for himself.
had he given a
He
testimony,
did it to himself.
Yeah.
He OD'd on fentanyl.
Have some personal.
He has
He
to
even,
build it.
he even told that fireman woman that was off duty that was trying to help that he ate a bunch of pills.
He had the
too many
pill in his
drugs.
mouth.
So he got arrested one other time, and
Yeah.
he tried to eat all the evidence.
Yeah, he did.
And he OD'd.
I'm George Floyd. Oh,
So
mama,
fast
I
forward-
ate too many drugs.
I'm saying you fast forward 2 months, he just did it again. That's all he did.
Pretty much.
He had just
ridiculous.
OD'd on heroin and was hospital. Him and his girlfriend, they were heroin addicts, and he had just been hospitalized before the Derek Chauvin incident.
I mean,
because
we're-
of ODing on heroin.
It's weird. The criminals are
Are
being
respected.
elevated, they're respected, But the police aren't.
But those are liberals who are doing that.
So what do they have?
The
Like
conservatives don't see it
We
that
back the
way.
blue.
how many
we
how many
back the
black
blue.
criminals have died this year? 4 or 5 maybe?
Yeah.
You know 100 cops have already died this year on the job?
Of course.
Nobody gives a shit.
No one
Yeah, we
And that's
care.
the thing,
I
and that's the
care.
thing.
Insanity.
Nobody cares.
I care.
We're
care.
the side
yeah.
that backs the blue. But have y'all heard of Ryan Samsel, the gentleman that was arrested on January the 6th, one of the people that stormed the Capitol? He was held up in DC until March 21st. That day, a couple of cops walked in, zip-tied his hands, took him to a room, and beat him into oblivion. He lost one eye in the beating. He lost his right eye because
were
they
they
broke his
liberal
orbital
cops?
bone. It was the DC Police Department.
Liberal
Oh, he was a
cops.
white guy?
Yeah, they broke his skull. They broke his
Yeah, you
jaw.
never hear anything on that story.
He has
No,
cuts all over
this
his
is the
wrists.
first time hearing it.
Me too.
He has cuts all over his wrists.
Yeah,
Look
it's
it
my
up. It was
first
on
time
Gateway.
hearing
It was
about
on Gateway Pundit. That's my. Look it up. Gateway Pundit. Look up Ryan Samsel. He had his hands
They
zip
don't
tied.
report anything like
Of
that
course.
because he's white.
He was white, and he
Yeah,
was.
you don't get
The
no
enemy of the
riots
people
in the
won't tell
street.
us about
And we're
it.
the side that backs the blue. Look at what the blue just did to this guy that was
It's good
protesting in
and
the
it's,
Capitol.
and it's gonna be the blue that comes to your door for your guns when that executive order comes in.
That Babbitt lady that got shot at the Capitol.
Yeah.
No one's complaining about
Her
her. 'cause
shooter
she's
wasn't
white.
even named.
If she
Was
was,
never
if
named.
she was
No.
black, they'd have raised hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
But y'all
said
gotta
she
understand the
deserved it.
fact
That's
that
what
the
liberals
police,
said.
the fact that police departments in blue districts are doing that. Blue districts are pretty much communist China. Only in third world countries do cops walk into a political prisoner's cell and give him that treatment, the Ryan Samsel treatment. Dude lost an eye and is in medically induced a coma. Medically
Yeah.
induced coma.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. No, I'm not kidding you, but it is unbelievable.
No
So
pity
what-
for
we're in a
him.
third
No
world
pity for
country.
that guy
Where's
because he's
his
white.
family? I mean, why haven't they sued?
They brought a lawyer. The lawyer made a statement on Twitter. They're pursuing this, but the FBI is investigating it. Oh, thank God, the
They're
FBI.
not gonna
I'm
do
sure they're
so.
gonna get to the bottom
It's
of
gonna
it.
be hush money, or they're
Yeah.
gonna settle out of court. Pretty much.
Of course.
I'm not surprised.
So ridiculous.
I feel like we need a whole new system.
Yeah, we
we
need a
been-
whole.
That needs to be
But-
Our
cleaned out.
politicians
Hey,
are
Jeff,
corrupt.
hey,
All
Jeff.
these government agencies
Don't
are
say that. You're gonna sound like lefties.
You're gonna sound like QAnon too.
No, not
They're-
QAnon.
Yeah,
I'm
they-
talking about
they wanted-
Antifa that they want to destroy the
No,
system.
but they want a new system too. They want to put Donald Trump
Well,
as
no,
the 19th
They
president.
think they don't want to do it. They think that people are already doing it. They think that's already in the works, and we're just waiting. Just wait there. Be cozy. The plan is already in motion. We haven't seen anything, but the plan is already in motion. Trump is gonna be back in office.
Yeah, it's not
They don't
happening,
want to do
guys.
it. They
Hate to
think
break
it's
it to
gonna
you.
happen. Yeah.
They stole it. Biden's in there for 100 days, and then he
Kamala.
falls down the step.
Yeah.
If he falls backwards instead of forwards, he's toast. He's done.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Kamala
snap his
takes
neck.
over.
President Harris now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Vice President Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't know if that's gonna be the case. They're gonna, she can select the vice president, but if you're talking about it as if it's in the order of power, like passing down power, then yeah, Nancy
How
Pelosi
old
would
is
be next
Nancy
in line.
Pelosi?
She's like 81.
81.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's
How old's Biden?
78.
Wow.
So the two out of three of the most powerful politicians in this country are right at 80 years old.
Yeah.
Almost 100.
Isn't
Well,
it?
President
hell's
Trump.
that
well,
happen,
President
dude?
Trump is 74.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
But
when
he's
Biden
saying-
talks,
he's
you see his
talking
teeth falling out of
he's
his head.
talking
When
about
Nancy
that
talks,
office.
you see her teeth falling out of her head. It's crazy.
Wow.
We have to hold it near and dear.
But President Trump
Anyway.
don't look old like that.
no.
I don't see, like I said, I don't see President Trump as an old man.
He's a handsome young man.
He's a handsome man. That's right. He walks tall. He's a walking tall.
Oh,
He's nothing like Biden. Don't compare him to
You have to
Biden and Nancy
Oh,
Pelosi.
no, not at all. But you have to understand too is that if somehow by the grace of God, if there's a miracle, if Joe Biden actually lasts the 4 years and he actually continues with his promise of running again, he's gonna be 83 in 2024.
He'll be dead, dude.
He'll be 83.
Yeah,
if he's still alive.
His dementia's getting worse
he's
by
not
the
gonna make
day.
the 4
But what
years.
if they
That's the
keep?
thing.
But what if they keep him alive like they kept Prince Philip alive? Then what?
99 years old.
Biden won't make it to 99. Are you kidding me, man?
But Prince Philip was better shaped than Biden.
Look at Biden from just 2 years
He had
ago.
dementia for like 20 years.
Biden 2 years
He
ago was
did?
basically normal.
Yeah, Prince Philip was a shell. He was, but
Really?
again,
I didn't know that.